Right, we all good to go? Excellent. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of a warm up here. Actually, we did some things last week, and hopefully we're going to build on those a little bit. Okay, so if you just watch for the moment what Oksana is doing with her arms, very simple. Actually, just hands are on her shoulders, and then she extends her arms out in front, back to the shoulders, and then she extends up overhead, back to her shoulders. Now you have a, so for those of you who kind of want to make it simple, easy, because we're going to incorporate our feet here, you can just focus on those two movements, forwards and then above your shoulders, and then forwards and above your shoulders. And if you want to add in a third, you can extend, once we go up, extend out to the side, and then repeat. So there's basically 3 movements if you want to make it that way. Okay? All right. If you need to simplify, that's fine. Don't worry about that. What the feet are doing is we're just jogging spot, and then you can incorporate the hands any way you like. So for example, you don't have to follow the same rhythm that Oksana is using here. Yeah, it can be whatever your own pace is actually. And Oksana, can you just show them how they could pause a little bit with it, for example? Yeah, so you can find whatever rhythm you want to with your hands as long as your feet are continuous. Okay? All right, so we're going to do that for 45 seconds starting now. Okay, remember with your hands, it's basically forwards, then up, and then if you like, to the side. Yeah, if you find that coordination easy, then just try jogging a couple steps forwards and back rather than on the spot, just to challenge yourself a little bit as well, actually, okay? Looking pretty good there. We got about 15 seconds remaining. Two, one, okay, and rest, and just shake out your arms and your legs. And it's always a good idea to have a drinks bottle handy. And if you want, after the first couple exercises, just give yourself a quick sip to stay a little bit hydrated, okay? All right, second exercise. So this one is a repeat of what we did last time, but we're gonna add a little bit onto it, okay? If you watch Oksana from the front, okay, we're just stepping side to side. So right foot, left foot, and then we replace our feet back where they were. So we just call this like side, side, together, together. Okay, so it's like right, left, and then replace back where they were. Now, if you want to make it harder yourselves, okay, you can do, for example, 1 repetition of side, side, together, together, and then you can go forwards, forwards, 1, 2, and then back, back. Okay, both of those exercises are like 4 counts. So Oksana, can you just do it slowly for us actually? So side, side, together, together, and then you can add forwards, forwards, back, back. And if you, again, find whatever rhythm is useful for yourself. So if you want to repeat more than just 1 change, you can do. Okay, if you find it real easy to do both changes, yeah, then just work on increasing the tempo a little bit. Okay, so 45 seconds starting now. So remember, it's side, side, together, together, and then you can alternate forwards, forwards, back, back. Very good, Ian. That's exactly right. Well done. That's it, Jim. That's it, Emmanuel. Well done. And then if you've got the hang of that, then just try to make the movement small and rapid, okay? Okay, we got about, let's see, so we're at 30 seconds. We got about 15 seconds remaining. That's it, Kevin. Well done, Richard. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and rest, and just shake out your arms and your legs a little bit there. Okay, all right, so we're gonna do a movement, actually, which is kind of similar to our star jump. Okay, here's the thing, instead of jumping on the spot, we're gonna just do lunges, and we're gonna start to our right. So we lunge out to the right, hands go over the head, and then back down. And so it's similar to our star jump pattern here, okay? When you do this exercise, you don't need to jump, you don't need to bounce. In fact, if you slow down the exercise slightly and just focus on those lunges. Now, when I say a lateral lunge, what that means is both feet, yeah, they still point forward, so they're parallel to one another. So we don't turn the foot at a right angle, okay? So remember, we're gonna start on the right, and we stride out, And then we do the same to the left. And the intermediate position is when the feet are together and the hands are by your side. Okay, so keep this one nice and easy. Don't go for speed. 45 seconds starting now. So we just kind of do a lateral lunge to our right, back to the middle, then to the left. And you can see that we're just swinging the arms over the head actually when we do that motion. That looks good, Richard. That's it, Emmanuel. Good, Kevin. And then try not to turn your upper body. Just try to keep it facing forward, same direction your toes are. And then just remember we kind of lunge to the, so that both our toes are pointing the same direction. That's it, Ian. Nice. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and relax. And again, shake out your arms and legs. And if you got your drinks bottle, just take a quick sip here, okay? All right, so now we're gonna do, again, exercise we did last week. You can see we're just building on what we've worked on. And Oksana, if you turn to the side just to demonstrate. Okay, so we're gonna do some heel kicks where basically we're just kicking the heels towards your bum. And if you want to alternate those on each successive step. So it's just right, left, right, left. Now, if you wanna make it a little more challenging for yourself, then whenever you like, incorporate a set of high knees. Now, what we don't have to do is you don't have to lift those knees very high. Just go at whatever height is comfortable for you. So we're basically doing like a quick jog, yep, and then we're kicking our heels behind. Yeah, so it could be useful maybe to have like a 4 count where we kind of go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. But change as often as you like. And if you need to concentrate on one exercise and then stop and do the other, that's fine to do that as well. Okay, so 45 seconds, and we're alternating the heel kicks and high knees starting now. Good job, Ian. That's exactly right. There you go. Well done, Jim. And remember, just keep it comfortable for yourself, okay? Good job, Emmanuel. Yeah, Richard, that's excellent. Good job, Kevin. That's it, Hannah. Okay, about 5 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and rest. Now is a good time to have a drink if you didn't have one before, okay? Nice. Okay, so what we're gonna do actually is just a quick kind of stretch here, and we're gonna try to keep you moving. So what I'd like you to do is to put your feet a little wider than shoulder width, okay? So shoulder width and just slightly wider than that. Okay, and everybody can do this, for example, as we speak. Hopefully you can see on the big screen a little bit. I want you to put your hands kind of hand over hand, and I want you just to go down your right side, right ankle, and we're just gonna touch that ankle. If you can go more, if you can touch the floor, then that's great. Okay, now I just want you to walk your hands into the center, and now to the left ankle, and then I just want you to move up. Okay, when you do that, when you swap like from one leg to the other, try not to bend either of the legs. Try to keep them relatively straight. Okay, now repeat the exercise and just start on your left side. So left ankle into the middle, right ankle, and stand up. And let's repeat those two one more time. Just do that in your own time, okay? So remember, right ankle, center, left ankle, and then you just stand up, and then you repeat, but starting on the left side, okay? There we go. Good. Okay, so now here's what I'd like you to do. I would like you to reach both hands. So right hand towards the right ankle, left hand towards the left. And I want you to reach behind your heels. Okay. And we just want to hold that position. Okay. And if you can move the hands farther, like behind the heels, because your flexibility allows it, that's great. Okay. Now I want you to hold that position. Okay. I want you to take a nice deep breath, like breathe in through your nose, and then exhale out of your mouth. Try to have a very nice long exhale. Okay, and then hold that position. And then you can relax and you can just stand up slowly, okay? And then we can repeat it one more time, actually. So hands behind the heels. Yes, breathe in through your nose, very long exhale out of your mouth. And then when you come up, try to come up kind of slow because sometimes we get a little bit of a light head actually when we do that, okay? All right. Now, one more exercise for you. This one is useful if you have a wall or a chair next to you that you can balance yourself a little bit, okay? So we're just gonna lift one knee towards our chest and we're gonna hold it. Then we're gonna pull the knee to the side so that we kind of open up the groin, and we hold that position for 5 counts, and then we just drop that leg down, and now we swap sides. So balance with the other hand, lift up the opposite leg and hold. Then we open up, hold to the outside, and drop it down. So try to do about 5 counts on each leg, okay? So when we lift up and we hold to the chest, hold about 5 counts. And then when we open up, hold about another 5, and then repeat on the other leg. That's it, Jim. Very good. Nice. Okay, and just relax. So we're going to just do a little bit of footwork here, kind of concentrating at the beginning on our on guard position. Okay, so what we're going to do here, let's see, starting with our heels together. Okay, now when I say heels together, it's as if we're doing a salute here. Okay, so we want the dominant foot in the front and the heel touching the back one. Okay, so our feet are at a right angle as if we're in our on guard position. Okay, so we're going to first of all step forwards into our on guard and bend the legs. And then we're going to repeat that movement forwards a second time so that our on guard is even wider and lower. And then we're going to bring our heels together. That's our default. Okay, now moving with the back foot, we get into our on guard, then we move it again a second time, so it's wider and lower, and then again back to heels together default. So if you watch, it's like 2 movements forwards, 1, 2, and hold, then heels together with the back foot, 1, 2, and hold, and then back. Now, what the common mistake is that when we move a foot, we tend to shift our weight onto that leg, okay? So try to keep it centered both times when you're in your on guard and when you widen it out. Okay, 45 seconds. Just go at a nice slow pace here, okay, starting now. So remember, lead foot goes forwards, and then we widen out the on guard, back to heels together. Do the same starting with the back foot, widen out the on guard, heels together. Yeah, make sure we keep our upper body nice and straight. We don't want to lean forwards actually whenever we move the limb, okay? That looks good. Very good, Richard. Good, Hannah. Ten seconds remaining. That's excellent, Ian. Very good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So just stand up and shake out your legs a little bit. Okay. Great. Okay, so from our on guard position, yep, we're going to just do, so similar to one of the warm-up exercises we did, we're going to move our lead foot forwards, back foot back, and then replace them back on guard in the same order. So we go forwards, back, together, together. Remember, we're starting in our on guard position, so we want to keep that distance, shoulder with distance throughout. So it's forwards, back, together, together. Forwards, back, together, together. Okay, now, once we've done one repetition, we just want to take a step forwards. So forwards, back, together, together, step forwards. And we're going to do that as long as we have room to move forwards. And because everybody's room is slightly different, once we finish a repetition, if we don't have the same amount of room, you repeat the same movement, forwards, back, together, together, and now retreat. And you can do that and end up back in your starting position, okay? So the base is the same. It's forwards, back, together, together, and then step forwards for as long as you've got length, and then repeat, but with steps back. All right, ready? 45 seconds starting now. Forwards, back, together, together, step forwards. Just keep repeating until you run out of room. Good. Remember, once you run out of room, just repeat the same exercise, but take a step back after. That's it, Jim. Good. And Emmanuel, try to make sure that the movement back, when you do forwards back, that they should be relatively equal. So we end up on the spot when we do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just stand up and shake out your legs. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to repeat an exercise we did last week, which, to be honest, we didn't teach it very well. So we're hoping that we can explain it better this week and that you guys can have another go at it a little bit here. Okay, so if you watch Oksana in her on guard position, and one thing we found for ourselves, which was useful, is that if we're moving forwards, you always want to start with the lead foot. And if you're moving back, you always start with the back foot, okay? Now, all we're doing is we're moving heel, toe, then toe, heel, step forwards. So easy way to think of it is, it's like we pretend to do a step forwards, pretend to do a step back, and then we move forwards, okay? Once you get to the end where you don't have enough room now, remember, if you're moving back, you start with your back foot. So we move toe, heel, heel, toe, step back, and then you repeat it. Okay, if you notice, we want to keep the weight in the center, even though we're moving the limb independently. Okay, so we don't shift the weight until we do a step. That's what this exercise is trying to stress, is that you can move that limb without having to shift the weight or transfer the weight until we do the step. Okay, once more, remember, when you go forwards, you start with the front foot, heel, toe, toe, heel, step forwards. Okay, 45 seconds starting now. Yeah, Richard, try to remember, when you go forwards, you start with your lead foot. When you go back, you start with the back foot. Yes, there you go. That's it, Emmanuel, exactly. Very good. Good, Hannah. Yeah, everybody's getting the knack of it, actually. Good, Kevin. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Just stand up and shake out your legs there, okay? Okay, so watch, we're gonna move to just an exercise which is gonna help us with our lunge. And really important, so I'm gonna show you what we do here, and don't misconstrue a little bit here. So watch, Oksana's gonna start in her on guard position, and on purpose, she's gonna shift the weight to the back leg. So if, let's say at the beginning when we start, the weight is 50-50 on both legs, she's gonna shift the weight back on purpose. So now there's more like maybe 60-40 or 70-30, much more weight on the back leg, okay? Now that's gonna force us to use that back leg to push and work a little bit harder when we lunge, okay? So from where the weight's on the back leg, we're just gonna extend and lunge. Yeah, you can hold that position, because now when we're here and we're at the end of that lunge, you might just breathe out, relax your shoulder, and then we recover. Good, and the recovery, weight's in the middle. But now before we start the next one, we're gonna again lean the weight onto the back foot and then lunge again. So it's gonna make us work a bit harder on the back leg. Yes, okay. Now, if you want to, what you can do to make this exercise harder is when you balance, just have your tiptoe kind of on the floor there actually to balance yourself. So there's very little weight. Yeah, now you notice Oksana, she had her front foot completely off the floor. So that's another possibility. And it just means that all of the weight is on the back leg when you do the start of the lunge. Okay. All right. When you recover, just keep the weight on both legs. It gives you a little rest, and then you repeat. So go nice and slow for form. 45 seconds starting now. Yeah, remember, you don't have to start with the most difficult variation. You can start by maybe having the weight 60-40 on the back leg, and then maybe 70-30. And then if you want to kind of shift all the way to the back just to test yourself, feel free to do that, okay? That's it, good. And for all of you out there, remember when you start your lunge, make sure that as you start to go forwards, rather than kind of falling forwards with the body, try to lead with the hand a little bit and then push with the back leg, okay? Good, Richard. Nice. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and rest. Just stand up, shake out your legs a little bit, okay? Okay, so there's one more here for your lunge position, actually, just to help us in particular, like with coordination, arms and legs, and also maybe to help us with our recovery, okay? So here's what we do, actually. So start from your on guard position, okay? And we're just gonna demonstrate nice and slow, and this is how you should start it, okay? We're gonna extend the weapon arm and lunge. Good. Okay, now without moving the feet, we're just gonna bend the weapon arm and rock the weight back. So the feet are in the same position as the lunge, but all of the weight is really on the back leg. You can see that. Now we're gonna extend and lunge again, and then we're gonna recover properly. So if we were gonna count it, we would extend and lunge. That's 1, rock back 2, back into the lunge 3, and now recover on guard, okay? All right, so remember, we just go lunge, 1, 2, 3, and then recover back. Okay, so nice and slow, 45 seconds starting now. Remember, extend and lunge, rock back 2, back into your lunge 3, and then recover on guard. Good. And Richard, try not to, once you lunge there, just keep your feet in the same position. Try not to recover in between. So hold the lunge and then just rock your weight onto the back foot. So that's it. There you go. Well done. Well done. Good. Emmanuel, that's great. Well done. Yeah, good. Kevin, remember, hold that lunge. Just rock back into your lunge. Yeah, and then recover. Nice. Okay, and time. Just stand up and shake out your legs a little bit there, okay? Nice. Okay, so we did a little exercise last week, which was to help you with when we kind of delay the back foot. In other words, like we do a slow step forward. So Oksana, could you just very slowly demonstrate that for us? So watch, we move the front foot, the back foot kind of hangs in the air a little bit longer, but when it comes down, now we go straight into our lunge. Okay, and recover. And just step back for us. Just one more time, if you would. So think slow step and then quick lunge. Okay, and the purpose of that is that it gives us time to observe our opponent and see what are they doing. So for example, if we started that movement and they were slow to retreat, we would accelerate into the lunge and try to catch them. Or if we started that movement and they moved away, we could either resign the attack or take an additional step before we went, okay? So we're doing the slow step and then into the lunge. Now, second part 2 here, okay, is that we're gonna do a quick step and a lunge, meaning that now we don't delay the back foot at all. We do fast from start to finish, okay? So this is just a quick step lunge. Yeah, keep the movement nice and short and try to get the back foot down as fast as you can, actually, okay? So quick step lunge, recover, and then retreat. And we're gonna alternate those 2 actions. So you need to make a conscious decision here. You need to think about it before you start the movement. Slow step lunge. Yeah, recover, retreat, quick step lunge, recover, retreat. And we're just gonna alternate those 2 actions, okay? All right, so 45 seconds starting now. So remember, slow step lunge, recover, retreat, and then quick step lunge, recover, retreat. If you're sliding forwards in your lunge, you may need to take an additional step back just to resume your original position, okay? Yes, well done, Richard. I can see the 2. It's very clear. Well done. Nice, Emmanuel. That's it, Hannah. And when you start that lunge, try to get that hand out there. Focus on the hand a little bit in the lunge. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so just stand up, shake out your legs a little bit, okay? Nice. Okay, so the basic on this next one is that we're doing 2 small steps forwards, 2 small steps back. We're just alternating that. So if you watch Oksana, she goes 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back, and she's just going to keep repeating that. So where the skill comes in is that when I give a signal, in this case, I'm just going to say go, then I want her to step lunge nice and fast. She recovers, and then she carries on doing 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. Okay, so Oksana, if you just relax a moment. Remember, if you're in the middle of a step forwards, finish that step and then do the step lunge, because we want acceleration in the step lunge. We don't want to be in the middle of a slow step and then do that, okay? So, and likewise, if you're in the middle of a step back, finish the step back, then do the change of direction, step lunge moving forwards. Got it? Okay, so 45 seconds. For this one, I would like you to keep the steps small and rapid. Okay, ready? Starting now. So 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. Make those as small and quick as you can. Okay, remember when I shout go, you guys are going to do a nice quick step lunge. Ready, go. Then recover, and then go back to the movement. 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. And go. Very good, Emmanuel. Nice. Keep moving, everybody. Nice and quick with the steps. Go. Good, Richard. Keep stepping. Focus on your breathing. In through your nose, exhale out of your mouth. And go. Good, Hannah. Nice. And 3, 2, 1. And go. And rest. Okay, just stand up and shake out your legs a little bit here, okay? Great. Okay, so we're going to do some of the next exercises here against a target. Okay, remember, again, you could do these if you don't have a target handy, you could just do them as footwork exercises. But if you have a target, try to arrange that in the next couple of minutes here. And of course, you're going to need a little weapon to help you actually with that. Okay, so basically, we want to arrange a target, grab a weapon. Now's a good time if you want to have a sip of water, yeah, or nip to the loo real quick. Actually, before we do these exercises, you got a couple minutes. Okay. Well, I hope you all are missing fencing as much as I am at the moment. So.
Are we going to do outdoor fencing soon?
It's a possibility actually, and I think the club will probably email people actually when they figure out what our possibilities are actually. So, but I think that would be next on the cards. So.
Yeah, the Nescott facility told me that they're going to open after Easter. So I told them we would probably book there.
Okay, let's see. Are everybody back? Okay, I think we're about ready So here's what we'll do. So watch Oksana. Now, look, this is really important because sometimes we do a one-off exercise and then we move on to another one that's not related, okay? But in this case, the way we're kind of building actually like a little bit of a ladder. So we do an exercise, then we're gonna add another movement onto that exercise and another one onto that and so on and so forth, okay? So just try to kind of internalize what the movements, what we're doing here. And remember, we're going to add another move onto it actually. So real important that you kind of get the basics good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we just want to have a good extension against the target. And if you notice, Oksana has a nice straight arm, her hand's about shoulder height. Yep, and she's got a slight bend to the blade. Okay, now all of these exercises that she's demonstrating with a foil, they can easily be done with a saber. And of course, just focus on the overlap. In other words, if we're cutting to head, we still want just the, the top couple inches of the blade to overlap the target. We don't want to be hitting with the middle of the blade because then we're too close. Okay, so still focus on the distance. All right. First thing we're going to do is some double hits. So we want a quick extension and we hold. Then we want to do a nice fast remise and then back on guard. Okay. So remember, we do 2 quick hits, 1 and 2, and then on guard. Okay. So 1, 2. And then on guard. And you're just going to do that for 45 seconds, okay? Like, so what Oksana was doing at the start was making a nice hit and holding, giving her an opportunity to relax her shoulder so that when we do the remise, we just have to bend the arm a little bit to make a nice fast hit and then back on guard in your own time, okay? All right, so double hits, 45 seconds starting now. So remember, the rhythm is like 1, 2, and then on guard. 1, 2, and then on guard. To be honest, if you change it and you make, 2 fast ones, 1, 2, that's fine as well too. Don't worry too much about that. Just make sure that we do a hit and a remise. Yeah, good, Jim. Okay, about 10 seconds remaining. Good, Kevin. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so now remember, we're just going to show you at the moment actually what the next part is, and we're going to tack that onto what we did at the beginning. So we did 2 hits, 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to take a little step back with a parry. And then we're going to riposte. Okay, now Oksana explained to me a little bit here actually that the step back is really rather short. Okay, it's not a long step back because if you do, you'll be out of distance to hit with the riposte without moving your feet. Okay, so the whole idea is that when we do the little step back, it's just enough so that when we step back to give ourselves time on the parry, we can still kind of lean into the riposte to make a hit at maximum distance. Okay, so watch her, 1, 2. Step back parry, riposte. If you notice, she goes back, but not very far. It's just to give you more time to execute the parry. And you can see that she's hitting without moving her feet a second time, but it's like what we would call maximum riposting distance, where she's kind of leaning into the hit a little bit to make sure that it arrives. Okay, so we do hit and remise, then little step back, parry, riposte. Okay, and then repeat. Okay, so 45 seconds starting now. Yeah, and then Emmanuel, try not to, once you do your step back, don't move forwards, just stand still to do the riposte there.
Just arm.
Yeah, arm only. Okay, so remember we go hit remise, little step back, parry, riposte, standing still. Yeah, and then Richard, you might want to kind of find the happy medium there. If you go back too far, you end up kind of leaning too much to make the riposte there, okay? That's the idea. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Very good. Yeah, probably just the most common mistake was that as you were going back, most of you taking too big of a step back. Therefore, when you made the hit, you either wanted to move your feet or you were really leaning, actually putting a lot of weight on your front foot. So just make that step back, make it a lot shorter, yeah, than you've been doing, and it'll make things easier for you, okay? All right, so the next action we're gonna do, so we'll start, yeah, so we've just done our parapost here on the target, okay? And then we're gonna do 2 steps back, 1, 2, followed by step lunge. And again, try to control the distance that you do your step forwards lunge, because if it's too big, if we take 2 short steps back and then we do a very large step forwards, you're gonna find that you're too deep. So we do 2 steps back and a relatively moderate step lunge, and we wanna control the amount of bend in the blade when we make the hit. So she's gonna do it from the start, but slowly. So hit and remise, little step back, parapost. Now 2 steps back, step lunge, and then back on guard. And then you're gonna probably have to move in to get back to your extension distance and start all over, which is hit, remise, little step back, parapost, 2 steps back, step lunge. Okay, and that's what you keep repeating for the entire 45 seconds, starting now. So Richard, once you do your parapost, take 2 steps back. 2 steps back, now step lunge. There you go, that's the idea. Well done. Good, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and rest. Okay, just stand up, shake out your legs. Okay, there's just one more to tack on here actually, so not to tax you too much. Okay, once we've done our step lunge, and now we're in the lunge position, if you watch Oksana, you're just gonna do a parry and a riposte, as if we're doing a parry and a counter riposte from the lunge, okay? So now if we just show you slowly from the beginning, okay? So we go hit and remise, little step back, parapost, 2 steps back, step lunge, now parry, counter riposte from the lunge, and then you resume starting at extension distance again. Can you do it just a little bit slower? So hit, remise, parry, riposte, 2 steps back, step lunge, parry, counter riposte, back on guard. Okay, and you know what, because it's a lot to take in all at once. If you're struggling, don't worry, actually just do as much as you can do, okay? All right, and we'll keep working on that to try to make it better and better, okay? All right, so 45 seconds, starting now. Hit remise, little step back, parapost, 2 steps back, step lunge, parry, counter riposte from the lunge. That's it. Nice, Ian, you got it. There you go, Manuel. Nice. That's it, Richard. Well done. Good, Hannah. I'll try to hold when you're in your lunge there at the very end. So take your parapost from your lunge. So you do the counterpost, then recover, okay? And 3, 2, 1. Okay, and rest. Okay, just stand up, shake out your legs a little bit here, okay? Good. Okay, so I think that's good for the moment. And what we're gonna have Oksana do here, actually, she's gonna just lead you in a little cool down. Okay, so it's gonna concentrate on the kind of the stretch here a little bit. And she just said, if you've got something like a little towel, because I think she's gonna do some positions where you're kneeling, and you can always put that towel underneath your knee, for example, to kind of help yourself out there, okay? All right, either that, or if you've got your glove handy, feel free to use your glove and do exactly the same thing. Actually, you can put that underneath the knee if you need, okay? So just 1 second, and I'm gonna hand it over to Oksana here.
Okay, now glove or towel, put it on the floor. Yeah, one knee on the floor, leg exactly straight, So your foot and knee supposed to be on one line. Is everybody can hear me? And right knee, right arm, put on the same line with, now we have a free position. And left arm over your head and stretch. And hold this position. You're supposed to feel stretching here. Don't move your hip back. Move your hip forward and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stay in the same position, body up. Now, right arm up and bend your body opposite towards to your straight leg. And hold it. And again, keep your hip forward. Don't move it back. And hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. And again, the same arm, right arm, put it in front of your knee. Now you can move your hip down and you will feel this stretching as well. And left arm and go opposite direction and hold it. And try to move your hand as far as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go up. And one more position. Move your toes up. And now move your tummy down and move your chin and go towards to your toe and hold it. Try to keep your legs straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now I would like you to swap your knee. And again, now left knee on your glove. Yeah, right leg straight. The same line, hand on the same line, hip forward and stretching. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go. Bend your body on opposite direction towards to your straight leg and go. 1. Try to move your hip forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Now the same left hand, arm on the floor in front of your knee. Now move your hip a little bit down. You can sit down to feel this stretching. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's go for last position. Toe up. Body towards to your straight leg. Tummy down and chin. And go. Try to keep your leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And breathe in and relax.
Nice. Okay, that's gonna do it for us.
Yeah, and from the video, try to watch hitting exercise again. And if you have a chance to practice, it's bonus because next week we still going to improve this set of exercises. Make sense? Yeah, and it will be easy for you to do it. And if you're able to repeat it non-stop.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you
Okay,
next
see you
Tuesday.
next week.